This is a fair use video, according to the copyright laws of 1976.
Religious freedom is under attack at the hands of this Liberal government.
Christian campaign groups have expressed concern that proposed Canadian legislation might make it illegal to share certain religious views and even Bible verses.
I know I'm part of the Christian community, and with many Christians across Canada are concerned about, we've talked about the threats that it really poses to, the very Bible itself. Do Christians, do they need to be concerned about this legislation? Does it really threaten the Bible and free speech in Canada?
They should be very afraid. Every faith leader should be very afraid as to what this Liberal government, with the support of the Bloc Québécois, wishes to do.
More than 40 civil and religious groups had asked for the bill's language be clarified and its scope more carefully defined so that religious texts would not be subject to hate crime legislation. Bill C-09, known as the Combating Hate Act, has received strong support from the Liberal Party and has passed its third reading. The contentious issue is a proposed clause within the legislation. It would overturn an existing part of Canada's criminal code, which provides an exemption for hate speech if something was said in good faith as part of a religious discussion, or is an opinion based on a religious text. The removal of this provision could lead to something being deemed hate speech, even if someone is expressing a religious view. Last year, the president of the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops, Reverend Pierre Goudreau, wrote to Prime Minister Mark Carney opposing the change. Some commentators suggest that pastors, parents, and ordinary Christians could face legal consequences for sharing biblical teachings in public. The Government of Canada has said rising anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, and transphobia have left too many people feeling unsafe in their own communities. They insist the Combating Hate Act has been introduced to better protect access to places of worship, as well as schools and community centers, and to more clearly address and denounce hate-motivated crime. Bill C-09 must now pass in the Senate, which returns from its recess on the 14th April.
Shalom, Ahab, wa Baraka. In other words, peace, love, and blessings. And before we get started, we want to face the east. We're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers that have been bringing out this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years. And to the sincere Akyah wa Akwath, in other words, brothers and sisters that are in the truth sincerely, salutations. Let's get right into it. So they're pretty much saying what that legislation was saying is that you can't teach on the streets. That's what it's coming down to. Not you can't be in the church, not you can't have Catholic schools, but they're saying that it's hate speech for you to teach what the Bible says on the streets. So that really has nothing to do with the church or the Catholics because they don't do anything on the streets. If anything, once in a while they'll go out there and do something in the name of Jesus, but really they're going after the real teachers, the real prophets. The people that are attracted to this actual type of teaching. Not me personally, but there's brothers that teach exactly what I teach that have thousands of views. You can shadow ban me all you want, but you can't shadow ban all of us. And so, with that being said, let's get right into it, honestly, because I wanted to do a class on Amos chapter 8, and let's actually go there. Amos chapter 8, KJV, Blue Letter Lexicon. No, this doesn't work. Wow, every time Guys, every time I try to use my tablet, when I bring out classes, everything stops working. But it's alright. We'll work around it. Amos, chapter 8, KJV. You know what? KJV, Blue Letter Lexicon. It won't load. Now I don't have Wi-Fi. What's going on? Oh my gosh, man. Literally. You know where I want to start? Matthew chapter 4, KJ, no internet connection. So now my internet's completely shut down. I just think you can stop the word. Watch this. The internet will come back on eventually. Let's go to the book of Mark. Let's start in the book of Mark, because I think it's really, really important right now. Keep forgetting. The 1611 has all of the books in the correct place, so you'd be flipping all over the place looking for something. So, Mark chapter 4. Okay, so let's go to Mark. Chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 15. Why not? Since they took away the internet completely, I have zero internet on both of my devices. I don't know what happened. But it says, and these are they by the wayside, when the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and take away the word that was sown in their hearts. So that's all that's happening right now. Satan's trying to show up and take away the word that I'm trying to sow in your hearts. Now, I showed you a video, but now my whole internet shuts down. Everything in my house stops working just to bring out a verse. Give me a break. I was going to the King James. Finally, this thing uploads. So now it wants to upload after I say, look, I can do this without the internet. So the internet can either shut down or work. But it's easier to read it for me because I can't see that well, guys. I'm going blind. I need better glasses too right now. These ones that I have on are just for looking around and seeing, like, but I need one. I have to wear my reading glasses to actually read. Can barely see on those words. I could barely see it with those glasses. So I wanted to read Amos chapter 8. And the point is actually in verse 11. And so I'm going to read verse 11. I want to go back to what I was talking about in the clip that we were watching. It said that that they wanted the word to be removed from the streets. Fuck, man, I can barely even bring it out on the internet, let alone the streets. But there's only one group of people that's going out to the streets. Now, whether you call them Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, black Hebrew Israelites, Israel hate, whatever you want to call them, They're the only ones going out in the street, and they're the only ones reading the Bible word for word. Now, I'm going to be honest. Not everybody, just because they're calling themselves an Israelite camp, that doesn't mean they're in the truth. And that's just the way it is. Just like you have Christians, you have a bunch of denominations of Christianity. Well, in this day and age, there's different denominations of being a Hebrew Israelite. You've got the black only, Old Testament only, New Testament. Everybody's accepted Israelites. Nobody's accepted Israelites. Everybody's saved Israelites. Nobody is saved yet Israelites. You got white only, black only. You got everybody, the speckled person. So you got a lot to choose from. So there's a lot of denominations at this time also of this. So there's a lot of lies. Even though they're the only ones on the streets. They're the only ones out teaching. And the basic doctrine is taught the same throughout all the camps except for camps like Genesis that's a Christian. Anything that's connected to Christianity is going to teach Christianity. That's all there is to it. But the rest of the camps, they teach the same basic doctrine. Going into the book of Amos, because I wanted to read verse 11 to get to the point, and then we're going to read the chapter. Behold, the day has come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor of thirst or water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. So this is in Canada. I don't have shit to do with this, man. That's in Canada. Bro, it's coming here next. It's coming here next. In fact, I got that. That was in the Canadian news that brought that out. In fact, let me show you which news station that was. It was, so if you want to watch this video yourself later, it was brought out by The Good Australian. So the name of the channel that I got that video from is The Good Australian. Canada is trying to make quoting from the Bible forbidden by law, but they're talking about where would you quote at? Well, obviously you're allowed to go inside of the church and inside of the schools that are faith-based, religion-based, whatever you want to call it. But you're not allowed to go in the street and quote the Bible. So coming to a country near you, so they're going to do it in Canada, then it's going to go over to Europe. And from Europe, they're going to try and bring it here. But it goes against our freedom of speech. So they have to literally, they're going to try to take away our freedom of speech by doing so. They just chip away at it. Oh, we need, because in the name of safety, we can't have you talking like that. But really, they just don't want the Bible to come out because they don't want people to know that their time is near. We've told you that a million times, too. Going into Amos, though, before I get off of this subject, these people are doing all this stuff. We'll go one verse just to show you that these people are doing all this for a specific reason. Book of Revelation, KJV authorized. I'm worried about the KJV authorized now. They said that the website that I normally use is I'll show you guys if it's actually real. We'll find out right now. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, KJV authorized. Okay, I'm going to go to my favorite King James Online. Yeah, look at this. So they have a it's not the same format anymore. They changed the whole format of it, and the earlier text I got was that it was I don't know if you guys can see that, but the earlier text I got was that, so if you go on King James Online, they said they hijacked the King James Online and they're holding it for a ransom. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Here it is. I'll show you guys. I got it right here. I'll show it to you right now. I'm not even joking about this. They literally took the channel that I'm forever been using, and it says it right there. It says, "Dear King James community, this is a temporary emergency website. Hackers attempted to gain control of the site and hold it for ransom. Please pray for them for all services to be restored. May Yahweh bless you. KJBO." So it's for real. I mean, somebody hacked into the King James Online. Isn't that crazy though? What good is that other than stopping? And why would they do that? Who uses the King James for everything? The street teachers. Who are they trying to take off the streets? The street teachers. And you guys think that this is a joke? So I gotta see who thinks this is a joke. Who thinks that this is a joke? Let me bring it out one more time, just in case I know I brought it out already, but let's bring it out again. Because now everything, I can't even get to the Apocrypha if I need to. I have to actually use my book, because this won't give me the Apocrypha either. So what they did was they took away the Apocrypha. So let's go to the book of Mark again. And then we're going to go to, this is horrible, chapter 4. And then we're going to go to verse 15 again. Let's start at 14. The sower soweth the word. So the sower are the people in the streets teaching this truth. And it says, "And these are they by the wayside where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and take away the word that was sown in their hearts." Huh. Now I had to start this video over a bunch of times, so I don't know if I brought that out or not. So that's what's going on right now. They're trying to take away the word. They don't want you on the streets, and they don't want you reading from the Apocrypha, because this is where I would get the Apocrypha from. So unless you own one of these books with the Apocrypha, like you can get that small one with just the Apocrypha in it. I don't know how much that's, like $20-$30. This book right here is like $400 to get an actual Bible with a 1611. Can you imagine what a Wycliffe Bible would cost you? That predates the King James by, like, I think almost 350 years. But anyways, so we know that they're trying to steal the word, and it shows you that they're trying to kick it off the streets. What does it say? Why would they do that? Because they're trying to stop prophecy. Go out to the highways and the hedges and preach to the wind. Let's get it really quick, right? And it's in a few different places. So let's go to Luke 14:23, King James Version. And it says, "And Yahweh said unto the servant, Go out to the highways and the hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled." So who are we trying to compel? We're trying to wake up the last of the 1/3 that are going to be saved. And they know that as soon as we get the last of that 1/3 that's going to be saved, that their time is completely up. Like the waves of the sea, they have certain bounds that they cannot pass. Let's get it. Proverbs 8:29. When he gave to the sea his decree, the water should not pass his commandment. Woo! That's beautiful. And he appointed the foundations of the earth. So everybody has a certain point which they cannot pass. In fact, Psalms 104:9. This is talking about Yahweh. You set a boundary they cannot cross, that they may never again cover the earth. So they're trying to stop this. They're trying to stop that boundary that's set for them. But it's not going to happen. We're the children of Israel. That boundary's been set. It's almost time for us to retake our rulership. Everybody knows who we are at this point. Whether you admit it or not, hey, that's up to you. You guys can justify all you want. But like those famous last words. Remember those famous last words? Bring that same energy when the time comes. Bring that same energy when the time comes. Let's go to the book of Revelation real quick. Because now we're going to go into Revelation, and we're going to go to chapter 12, and I'll prove to you that they've got a set boundary that they cannot cross over. So when you go to Revelation chapter 12, just skip right up to verse 12. And it says, "Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So he knows that he has a short time. So he knows his time's up. The Bible's telling you his time's up. So what does he do? He tries to stop you from going out into the highways and the hedges and preaching to the wind, right? Isn't that what it's doing? I wanna read this to you. This is really important. I'm gonna have to get it in the I'm gonna have to go into the King James, Matthew chapter 21. Come on, don't kick us off the internet again. It's doing that thing again. Hopefully this one will work. We haven't even got to Amos yet. I'll try to get to the class in Amos, but he said he has but a short time. Maybe that's all that I'm going to bring out in Amos. Maybe that's all that the Most High wants from me to bring out in Amos. So, we're going to go, like I said, Matthew chapter 21, and we're going to start at verse, let's look. Verse 34. "And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen, that they might receive the fruits of it. And the husbandmen took his servants, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Again he sent over more than the first, and they did unto them likewise." Those are the prophets. Spiritually and physically, you guys try to destroy us and get rid of us every time we show up. No more preaching on the streets. Frickin', my whole website, I even showed you guys, the website I normally use is completely down, and I'm using the emergency website, which I could go to someplace else, but you know how you get comfortable with certain things, so you want to stick with that, what you're comfortable with. And so that's all that has to do with anything. I can go to any other website and still get the KJV. Getting the 1611, though, is a little bit more tricky. So, like it said, verse 34 again. I'm sorry, verse 35. Let's go. Let's just jump forward. So we know that they're killing everybody. Anybody that shows up, they're trying to take you out. Beat one, kill one, and so on and so forth. They ridicule us. They oppress us, and then they want to make it illegal for us to even go out and teach. They want to hide the scriptures that we normally use. Let's go into the scriptures though, because it also says 37, "But last of all, he sent unto them his son, saying, They will receive my son. But when the husbandmen showed the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance." We are the heirs. Kill them all. Let's seize their inheritance. Don't let them teach, because if they do, the prophecies will be fulfilled. They're fulfilling the prophecies by going out in the streets. They're fulfilling prophecy by understanding the Bible. Let's take it all away. Let's call it hate speech. We can't have them teaching the truth. People are going to come back to the truth. You know what? The thing is no, nobody's coming back to the truth. Only 1/3 of the chosen elect are coming back to this truth. And that's all there is to it. Nobody else is coming back to the truth. Okay? So, I'm looking for something. I think it might be in Jeremiah chapter 5. Let's check. It might take a couple seconds. I've been having problems, like I said, with the uploading. Wow, it's really not doing it. All right, no big deal. This one's working. One down, one still going. So Jeremiah chapter 5, I think we'll start at verse. Here. Yes, okay. Starting at verse 22, because this is what I'm talking about. Like, these guys are raging like wild beasts against us, and they come with great wrath because they know they have but a short time. Go to Jeremiah. We're going to start at verse 5 and 21. And this goes not only for the 2/3, Jacob and Judah, but all you other nations. All you guys are going to get your punishment. So, Jeremiah, mainly because, Yahweh will punish his people first. He'll punish the children of Israel first, and then everybody else. Jeremiah 5 and 21, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, I which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. So our own people are going to join in on this. Yeah, that's hate speech, but and so you're causing a split down the middle between religious people and non-religious. But then there's going to be another split again between the religious people and the people that say that they're religious and the true Israelites. So, let's keep reading. Fear ye not me, saith Yahweh. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the boundary, and the sea by the perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they roar, yet they cannot pass over it. So you guys can try and do anything you want, but there's going to be a certain point that you're not going to be able to do anything else. The Most High is going to take you out. And I think that's why these guys, they see it coming, and so do we. We all see the same thing getting ready to happen. People are having crazy-ass dreams, nightmares even, of not only war, but of chariots coming. They're having dreams of Yahweh, Bahashim, sending Yahushai, sending Yahushai down. So the Father sending the Son back to receive us. So it's getting pretty hairy out there. Shit is going off the chain. And no, we're not in Jacob's trouble yet. We are what is called the beginning phases of what's going to be Jacob's trouble. So the framework right now is being set for Jacob's trouble. That's why I say we're at the beginning of Jacob's trouble. It's that framework that's going to make everybody fall into the cracks at the end, because what they're trying to do is set up that foolproof plan, because they have a they have a certain point that they cannot pass over. And instead of trying to repent, which isn't in your heart anyway, you guys try and fight against the truth. And I told you they have but a short time. Can I prove that in the scriptures? And it's really easy to prove in the scriptures, actually. When and literally it's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Matthew, Mark, and Luke for sure. So when you go into the book of Matthew, just go into chapter 24. I mean, it's so famous right now. Matthew chapter 24 is famous. So let's read it. And it says, this is Matthew chapter 24, and we're going to start, let's start from the top, because it's really important. Because I tell you, these guys are they're at a short time. I told you that the reason why they're trying to stop us from teaching is because we're bringing forth the prophecies. When you hear them, they start to happen. And they don't want them to happen. Plus, they don't want anybody to wake up. They don't want anybody awake. They want things to stay the way they were. In fact, they want to further oppress us and make it even worse. So let's go ahead and go into Matthew chapter 24, and we're going to we're gonna go starting right from the top. So I'm gonna show you guys right now the reason why I say they have a short time. I'm showing you the reason why, and I'm showing you the reason why they're increasing the oppression. So let's get it. Matthew 24:1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So they're trying to show him how beautiful the city is, and he's telling them this whole place is going to be destroyed. Okay? There's clue number 1. Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? Now here's the point. And the end of this world, or the end of the world. So they're asking, when is the end of the world? I'm telling you, these guys got but a short time. The Bible's telling you there's going to be a point where it's going to be the end of the world, and not one stone in the building, in the city that they're in. Where are they at? Where are they at? Jerusalem. Wait, are they in Jerusalem? Hold on. I might be wrong about that, but wait, where are we at? I thought that I could be wrong about that, but what place is getting destroyed right now? Israel. Okay? So, anyways, Israel's getting destroyed right now. There will be not one building left, one stone left upon another. And that's happening. So that's one of the signs of the end, that things are starting to get destroyed. And let's read it again. He said, he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall be these things, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So we're starting to see the beginning phases of that. That's why I keep telling you they have but a short time. They got a certain point where they can't pass over. And verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name. Deacon Hassad, Brother Hakah, prove to me what the name is. Everybody can be saved. All the lies that get you rich, but 7 months ago you were calling on Yahweh. Okay, we believe you. Waver or not. But anyway, so for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So they're not saying that they're Christ. They're saying that they have the truth, that Christ is with them, pretty much. Christ is with us. We know this truth. Don't believe anybody. Believe us. We're telling you everybody can be saved. We're telling you the name is Jesus. Well, like I've told you millions of times, that name Jesus literally got started from the good ship Jesus, which was also pronounced as Jesus. Jesus. And then when they started pronouncing the J, they would say Jesus. And that was the name of one of the slave ships that John Hopkins was on, better known for the university that he opened. You know, John Hopkins University, where they do all the experiments on slaves and stuff. Just saying. So, many are going to come in my name, Yahweh. And what name is that? Yahweh. That's right. Saying, I am the Mashiach, and will deceive many. So they're lying to you. So right now we're seeing the lies. We're seeing the beginning of destruction. Let's see what else. Verse 6, and you shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. You know what? What happened to Ukraine? What happened to whoever Israel's fighting? You barely, like, once in a while you'll hear a little something about it, but it's almost like that's not really trending right now. It's not really trending. So wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. So I said we're coming up on Jacob's trouble. We're at that the beginning stages. They're setting the framework. So when we hit Jacob's trouble, there's no turning back, okay? That's all there is to it. Let's keep reading though. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We're watching that happen. And there shall be famines. Even though they're orchestrated and by design by the government, we are having famines. And pestilence. And just think about this. Pestilence. They literally are weaponizing all different types of bugs. Ticks. They're weaponizing ticks with a new form of Lyme's disease. They're weaponizing mosquitoes with who knows what. And then like a bunch of other stuff that Bill Gates owns that nobody, what kind of worm was that? That they're using that, oh man, that just kills off stuff. And you got to drive truckloads of this stuff across the country. Imagine how you'd feel doing that stuff. So you shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. You shall hear of famines and pestilence. So now we understand what that is. The pestilence, they actually are literally pests. And that's just brushing the surface. Pestilence goes way deeper than that. Way, way deeper than that. And earthquakes in diverse places. You guys telling me there's places where we keep hearing about earthquakes. How about between Nevada and California on the fault line? It's moving right now. They say not in our lifetime, but California is slowly separating from the America. There's going to be like a giant canal that comes through and makes a ocean front for Nevada. If that's not crazy enough. Just saying, the place is breaking apart. So earthquakes in diverse places. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. That's why I tell you, they know they have but a short time. They see the beginnings of sorrows, so they increase the oppression. Then it takes us right back in a loop. We're in a circle now. Now we're back at Revelation 12:12. They know they have but a short time. They know they have a certain point that they can't cross over. So they're increasing the oppression. And this is the part I don't understand. They know they're not going to win, but they keep trying anyway. Especially if they're following the scriptures. So they actually think that they're going to be able to win this battle. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Okay? And I want to skip down to verse. Let's get verse 24, because they want to. This whole class is based on them trying to stop the scriptures from being taught in the streets. So they're trying to stop prophecy from being fulfilled. Matthew 24:9 takes us to the point again. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that covers the Genesis Israelites saying, prove the name. That also covers these nation leaders and all these other people that secretly don't want to hear the Bible being taught. You can go to church for that. You can go to Catholic school for that. But we don't want to hear it on the streets. So you know they're going directly after us. I'm gonna read a couple more, and then we're gonna let it go, okay? Because it's we can do a whole nother class on this if we wanted to. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep reading, and I really don't want to stop, but I'm gonna stop at verse 14. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Why? Because the love of many is going to wax cold. Let me show you. So, jump up to verse 12, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So you wonder why in verse 10, now you understand. Many shall be offended. What are they going to be offended by? Go to verse 9. The prophets that are teaching this 100% truth, they're so offended, they want to make a law to keep us off the streets. So now we know what they're offended by. But it also says in verse 11, many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Many false prophets. So they're going to tell you a whole different message, and it doesn't necessarily have to be biblical. It doesn't say many false biblical prophets, it just says many false prophets. So how many people outside of this scripture are going to try and prophesy to you? And so they do that. And they shall deceive many. And so now when you jump down to verse 12, like I said, because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Because people are lying all the time. The teachers on the streets, you don't want to hear that, because you feel like every time they say something, it goes against your whole ass lifestyle. It goes against your whole lifestyle. That's why you guys hate it so much. And we can prove that too. Going back over to Mark chapter 4. We're going to read like 16 through 18 pretty much. So let's go to verse 16. And we're going to read 16. We'll read 16 to 20 real quick. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when have heard the word immediately receive it with gladness. Okay? And have no root. Like I said, I'm going to prove that these guys hate it. They have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterwards, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. Those are the people that are going to fucking stab you in the back immediately. Oh, hell no, I didn't know it was all that. But wait, there's more. Watch this. Because these are the type of people that we're dealing with right now, verse 18 and 19. These are the people that don't want to hear the word in the street. These are the people that want to stop you from reading the Bible altogether. These are the people that want to stop prophecy. And I'm talking about not only the 2/3, but all of you nations. And it says, and because everybody's hearing this Bible, everybody's so-called a Christian at one point. Everybody's a Christian scholar. This is Mark 4:19, and 4:18. Salakia. Mark 4:18. And these, and the word Salakia means forgive me. Salakia, forgive me. I said the wrong chapter. I said the wrong verse. So Mark 4:18, and these are they which are sown among thorns. such as hear the word, and when the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. That is you guys right now. Every time you hear this truth, this is why you don't want to hear it on the street. This is why you don't want us reading the Bible at all. You do not want to hear this truth because you've got the deceitfulness of riches, lust, and other things entering in, and it's just choking the world. It's like, I can't live like this. That's ruining my whole daily lifestyle. That's not the life I'm trying to live. That's an unfruitful life for me. So you guys have to be taken out because you believe that this world is correct and the Bible's wrong. So you try to defend the world, justify wickedness, and stop prophecy. We could stop prophecy by no more teaching on the streets. Next thing you know, you're not going to be able to teach on the internet either. So let's get one more though. These are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100-fold. And that's what they're worried about right there. That's why they're trying to stop it. They don't want the people to fully wake up and know this truth. They think that you guys have already got enough information. It's all over. We need to stop this before it goes any further. So, I told you I was only going to read to verse 16 in Matthew chapter 24. So, let's read 12 again. And then we're going to finish out with 14. Now, I said I was going to read through verse 14. So, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So we know why that is true right now, because people like their worldly lifestyle pursuant to Matthew 24 verses 16 through 19, telling you that their lifestyle literally chokes the word and sends them back out into the world. So, verse 13, but he that endureth, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So the person that, and how do you endure? So wait a second. Well, I've been putting up with this too, but did you come back to the truth? Are you keeping the Shabbats? Are you keeping the high holy days? Did you put away birthdays? Did you put away Christmas? Did you put away Easter? Are you keeping the Passover? Are you following the biblical law to the best of your ability according to your knowledge? Now, we know that we're not going to be able to, it's going to be like, you have to be honestly rich. You'd have to be really wealthy to not wear mixed fabrics. You know that we can look up the ingredients and make sure that there's no pork or jellyfish or shark in our food. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's things that we can do, and then there are certain laws that we know we can't keep at this time. So the person that endures, the person that comes back to the truth to the best of their ability, according to their knowledge, that's the person that's enduring. Applying what they learn to their life. If they know that there's certain things they can do, and there's certain things they can't do. Maybe some things you can do at home, but if you do it in public, all of a sudden you've got people crashing out on you. You don't want people crashing out on you. We already got to go out in the streets and have crash outs every weekend. You don't want to live every single day of your life like that. So, he that shall endure, now you understand what endure means. We got to go through a lot, taking you to Sirach, chapter 2, 1 through 7. Sirach, chapter 2, 1 through 7, and the person that endures until the end, the same shall be saved, right? So, and it's pursuant, but in Sirach, it says that the endure part, it literally tells you if you come to serve the Lord in the very first verse, prepare thy soul for temptation. And then it goes through it telling you to stick with them, don't depart from the law, statutes, and commandments. Always be hopeful of the Lord's mercy, and know that gold is tried in the fire. But the last part that you really, really need to understand is if you wait on the Lord, He will help you. Okay? So, he that endures until the end, the same shall be saved. Verse 14. This is Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. Do you guys understand that? It's got to be preached all throughout the nations, which is happening because we're on the internet, but they don't want you out on the streets catching everybody, because more people, it's like a wildfire. This truth is like a wildfire right now. Everybody's going to see what the Israelite camps have to say, and then they make their doctrine based on what we teach. So the reason why that they want to stop us from being able to teach on the streets, starting with Canada, and then it's gonna travel. It's gonna travel just like this truth is traveling. And they want to stop this truth from being preached to all the world, because they know then the end is going to come. Now, I showed you in Matthew 24 all the signs that the end is here, that the end is near. That's happening. I showed you in Revelation 12 and 12 that they know that the end is there. And I showed you in Proverbs, I think it was 8 and 29, that they have a certain boundary that they can't cross over. So they're to the boundary lines right now. They're increasing the oppression because they also know the end is near. But at the end of all of that, you got to remember, after the 3.5 days, let's get it really quick. I got to close out with this. If the Most High brings more scriptures to my attention, I have to bring them out. I can't just, I already paraphrased all of Sirach, so I'm just going to get this. It says, Revelation 11 and 11, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them. They're trying to stop that. They're trying to stop the Spirit of life entering into the people, and they think by stopping the word from coming out, like the Most High is not going to bring the word to all of us and all the children that He wants to understand this truth. It's coming. And and nothing's going to be able to stop it. It's already in motion. See, this is already in a perpetual motion. You can't stop what's already started. It's like trying to stop a giant boulder from rolling down a hill. You're not going to. So, and after 3 days and a half, the Spirit from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Why is they so scared? What were you so scared for? What happened to bring that same energy? But the reason why they're scared right now is because they know they have but a short time. They also know the prophecies. And they can also see the prophecies being fulfilled. So they know they have but a short time. So they're really scared right now. They want, no, you can't be teaching on the streets. Next thing you know, they're going to make it hate speech to be teaching on the internet. Guaranteed. That way you can get rid of everybody at once. Okay? And so let's go to verse 12, because in the end, this is our salvation. So I showed you guys that there's all this crazy shit's going to happen, that we're right at the, we're building a framework for Jacob's trouble, which we know there's going to be a time that there was never like since the beginning of time. So this time of Jacob's trouble is going to be really rough, and we're coming up to it. So the framework's being built right now. But I have to mention our salvation also, because if I don't, you get to end the class, and it's all about fear. But really, this is like, you should be excited for what's getting ready to happen. The fear is on them because they know that we are getting ready to receive salvation. So you have to come back to the truth, and you have to be part of the 1/3. So you can't just say, oh, yeah, me too. That's not going to happen. So, Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, this right here is our salvation. Only for the chosen elect, only for the royal priesthood, the peculiar people, the holy nation, okay? And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So they're going to get to that certain point that they can't cross over. Even though they tried to stop the word from coming out, they tried to hijack the scriptures out of the Bible. All of that, at the very end, they're still going to watch us receive salvation. So, Revelation 22 and 12. Behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So if these guys are trying to stop the word from coming out, you can't say that they're not part of this plan to stop us from receiving salvation. Oh, it's in the name of peace. But it says, by peace you shall destroy many. So when you take away the word, you're destroying people. And the Most High will put you to death for that. So with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this message. Shalom.